Hello, Miss Erica Hubbard. How are you? Thank you for joining the Black Women Amplified podcast.
Hello. I'm good. I'm good. I'm happy to be on Black Women Amplified podcast. Thank you for having me on.
I am so excited. You are a Midwest homegirl, so I know this conversation is going to be fun and funny.
Yes. Yes. Chicago. Shout out to all the Chicagoan listeners and to all the Midwest listeners and all the people that want to come visit Chicago because we are a lovely state to come visit during the summer.
Yeah, look, only the summer.
Yeah.
My
Right. You know,
rules.
I said that. Don't come during the winter. You
My
go
rules.
quick. Yeah.
October is the cutoff date, and I start back up in May because that wind. Oh my God.
Wind chill effect. You if you come, you have to be have a strong mindset. You have to have willpower because when that wind hits your bones and that frostbite kicks in, you're gonna want to leave. But if you're strong enough to stay here and survive, you can conquer anything in the world.
Anything in the world.
Anything if you can survive Chicago.
And I know that you have had this dynamic, expansive career in film, television, movies, voiceovers, all the things. But what I want to hear about is your Chicago. So tell us about your Chicago, Erica.
My Chicago, and thank you so much for bringing up the experience. I think I wouldn't have been who I am today if it wasn't for my upbringing here in Chicago. It's just rooted in a working class family. So I learned how to be, a disciplinarian at a young age through my father and my mom, hard workers, Midwestern people. And not give up, which is the important thing. Because when things get hard, as they all do, in everything that you do, you have to have that mindset. I'm not giving up. And so I think that's what Chicago is made of, and that's what, when you come here, you feel that energy. You feel that vibe.
Mm-hmm.
So growing up on the south side, on the south side of Chicago, we all know, we all see it in the news.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in some at-risk community. My mom and dad, they divorced at a young age, but I had both sides of the spectrum because my mom lived on the south side of Chicago, and then my dad lived in the suburbs. So
Okay.
I was kind of privy to both worlds. The world that didn't have, the world that does have. So I at first I was just like, oh, what is going on? I feel so divided. But now it was a blessing because I can get along with everybody, anybody, because I mean, I know both backgrounds. And I think it's important for everybody to jail, no matter where you come from, just to jail and get along with each other because, just as a humanitarian and also as a philanthropist, I think it's important. And then I push unity. And that's important as well, especially in the entertainment industry, because when we get on that set, we're all working together.
Mm-hmm.
Not it's just me, it's just you, it's us. So that's pretty much my background coming from Chicago. And then fast forward, I have to shout out Columbia College. That's where I graduated and I got my degree, my communications degree. And so that's me in a nutshell.
You are a true Chicago girl. So
Yes.
you grew up in both atmospheres. You grew up,
Mhm.
like you said, I'm not going to use Tyler Perry's name, but the have and the have nots.
Yeah.
or,
Yeah.
or simple way to put it.
Yeah.
But so what being around both communities, is the village that raised you? Like, who are the people that raised you over here, and who were the people who raised you over here? And what values did they add to who you are now?
I want to say growing up in the city and the suburban life, both environments raised me and they raised me differently.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm put in a situation, I know, okay, so how would you relate to this situation? Do you have to have street smarts or book smarts? Because one environment is, more educated than the other, sadly to say, for lack thereof opportunities in the city. So, I'm trying to change that up and spread awareness about that. But in the city where you see the lack of privilege, so to speak, I I I understand it. I
Mm-hmm.
understand it, and it can make you a better person as well because you have that hustle in you. You want something for yourself if you want to get out that environment, if you make the conscious effort to get out the environment. And I did at a young age because I witnessed so much turmoil at a young age. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. This is deep. You know, if I wrote my movie, people probably wouldn't believe me. Like I've witnessed a lot of gang activity and drug activity growing up in that environment, but it's something that made me who I am today, because if I didn't have those experiences, I would not know how to relate to people who come from those experiences. And it's important to be relatable to everybody. Everybody has their story, but in the end, you want everybody to succeed, whether you come from the suburbs or the city.
I agree. And when people talk about Chicago, because I used to spend so much time there, I thought I lived there, even though I didn't have an address. But the communities around Chicago were always so individual and so vibrant. So whether I was in Lincoln Park or Hyde Park or the West Side, or I was on the South Side or downtown, Midtown, all of those spaces like were exciting to me. And I felt like when they show it now, they show like a few blocks. And so because I've never heard anybody say, I ain't going to Chicago. It's like, oh, when I get to Chicago.
Yeah. You know what? It's a city that when you experience it, it leaves a lasting impression on you. It's I mean, I wouldn't have it any other way. When I tell people I'm from Chicago, they light up like, oh, wow, you come from the big city. And I'm like, yeah, I survived the big city. But one thing we're rooted in here is it's a family oriented state. So, when we have our backyard barbecues and our cookouts and stuff and our block parties and all that stuff, it's rooted in socialization and community and family, being family oriented. And that's what I like about it. Is the summer times are all that. Yes. They are so, Grant Park, when we're out there with our lawn chairs and listening to music, or we're just having the festivities. It's a great time. It's a great time to be here in Chicago.
And all of the festivals.
Yep.
From Boys Town festivals all the way to the African Arts Festival. And what I loved is I could just get a bus pass, and go from one end of town to the next. I could go to the theater. I remember we had a mayor here. I can't remember his name, but it was about 35 years ago, maybe. Mayor Bosley. And he actually we didn't have a theater district. And he and his team went to Chicago and met with the theater district of Chicago, those people, and came back and designed it. And now we have a vibrant theater community and arts community. And it was because of that trip to Chicago. So I tell people all the time, Chicago is a blueprint for a lot of stuff that happens in these big cities.
People, yes, it's literally Chicago is a blueprint, especially a lot for theater. People say Broadway and off Broadway, but if you look at a lot of the SNL stars and people who are out there, they train here. A lot of them train here at Groundlings, Improv Olympic, Looking Glass, Goodman Theater, Steppenwolf. And that's where I got my training from as well. After going through Columbia College's theater program, all those people came from those theater backgrounds. And so when I got to LA, they were like, where you coming from? Where you train from? And I was like, oh, this is my background. I'm a Chicagoan and we believe in our arts and I come from a theater background. So they were like, oh, I think we can tell. So it's good to train here because it propels you for the arts and entertainment world.
Yes, it does. And it gives you the raw truth.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It gives you the honest, we're the authentic here. We're like, wait a minute. And I know that. I've done plays where the chairman of the theater from, hold on, I need you to change this. I need you to do this. I need you to do that. I need you to do this. And I'm like, woo. But it makes you better. It really does. So yay, Columbia College and all those those professors who come from all that training and that really believe in technique, which is important. People who work hard in their craft, and they help you, and then you could hopefully that helps somebody else when they see my work. They can say, okay, let me focus on this, that, and this, because it's techniques. If they, watch carefully from each character, each role that I pursue and that I do, it's different techniques.
Yes, you have. I mean, you can tell because you're a working actor.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank
When I was
you.
looking at your list, I was like, wait a minute, is this like the black girl Kevin Bacon? She keeps a job. Listen, let's talk about Columbia College for a minute. You finished a 4-year degree in 3 years. Who does that? And who instilled that level of determination in you?
Whew. I think I was my own best advocate finishing school in 3 years. And the
Mm-hmm.
reason why I wanted to do it is because, okay, so I had a minor, a major, and a concentration in college. And I said, okay, let me set out this trajectory to graduate at this time. And the trajectory for a minor, major, and a concentration was like 5 to 6 years. And so I was like, how can I get this lowered to 4 years? And then I found a way how to get it lowered to 3 years if I kept going. I didn't take any breaks, including I was a workhorse, including I went to night class, I went to day class, night class, and summer school. And so I said, if I take and then I did way more credit hours than the average person, the average student did. But if I did this, then I can get out of this school in 3 years. And I wanted to do that because I found out that a lot of the serious educators and people who are pursuing higher education was in the night classes. And
Okay.
I was just like, I started liking the night classes than I did with the day classes because it was like, kids playing around and just goofing around. And so when I started taking the night classes, I was like, wait a minute, they're getting off work and
Mm-hmm.
they're getting like some of them were getting second degrees or finishing up their degrees, and they were older. And I like being around, maturity. Let me put that away. I like to be around mature individuals. So then as a younger student, I started, getting mentors and finding out, what's your work ethic. And then they would share their work ethic with me. And then, I was like, hey, okay, you are who you are. You become who you are by who you surround yourself with. And that's a
Mm-hmm.
true statement. So I was like, if I hang out with this level of maturity, it will evoke something in me to to live at this mature level. So when I got out of Columbia College was like when I was way before I was supposed to graduate. I took that same model and then I went to LA and I hung around people that were 20, 30 years older than me. I
Mm-hmm.
still do. I still do. One of my mentors is maybe 25, 30 years older than me. And the knowledge and the wisdom is different,
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of my secrets to success. Hang around people that have decades older than you. You learn a lot more.
And it shows in your work because you seem very intentional about the roles that you choose,
Yes.
meaning that you want to make sure that you are portrayed in a specific way and then a Black woman is portrayed in a specific way. Because there's so many different directions, it's acting, you can go in any direction. But it seems like you're very intentional. Was that a decision you made early, or is it something that you came upon?
It's a conscious decision to show it's because everybody's impressionable to some degree, whether we acknowledge it or not. So what we put out there in the airwaves is very important. There's people out there putting stuff out there that's toxic and it's seeping into people's spirits, and it's certain lifestyles are developed from it. So when I choose roles, it has to be some kind of meaningful role to me because people are going to see this, and they're going to say, oh, I agree, or maybe I should do that, or I relate to that, or maybe I should, so you're leaving an impression on people. So it's important to I don't want to say necessarily they role model off the different characters, but there have been people that have open dialogue like, wow, I never thought about a relationship like this, or maybe I should do this different. So it has to be a conscious effort in the roles that I choose.
And it's so true because when I think back over my life, like my mom passed when I was young. So my images of
Yep.
adult women that I saw outside of my family were it was Debbie Allen and Felicia Rashad. And those are the women's, Lord, my English, the women that I modeled my life after because I didn't have that blueprint. So it is important who we see. And it
It's
made
so,
it
yep.
made such an impact on even who I am now. I can take a person back to, oh, when Debbie Allen did this. Or
Yeah.
I should say her character Lydia did this, because I watched Fame religiously. Did this.
Yes.
So it is very, and even now I was talking to my cousin who's a science teacher. I said, had I known about Katherine Johnson,
Mhm.
from the movie Hidden Figures was about her.
Mhm.
Had I known about her, I probably would have been an astrophysicist, because I love the moon and the stars and sciences. So it is important, um, that we do have visuals that show who we are from an expanded view, as opposed to this limited view that people try and box us in as Black women, as Black people.
Yes.
So
You
I
see it?
appreciate
I
you.
see
Yes.
it. Oh, thank you. You see, yeah, you got to be careful what you view, because, like you said, it can impact your life. Um, and also what you hear. That's why, the nonprofit that I formed, the Eric Hubbard Foundation, is important to mentor youth, in at-risk communities, because they're listening and they're observing, people. And so you want to say, okay, this is the path that that can lead you to greatness.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if they're seeing stuff that's opposite. You want to show them, introduce them to stuff that can change their life in a good way.
Because it definitely unlocks something.
Yep. Yep.
And I always say the difference between our kids and other kids is simply exposure.
Yes.
Because the brilliance is there, the genius is there,
Yes.
the intelligence, the smart, the innovation, all of that is there. It's just exposure, because you don't know
Yes.
it until you see it.
It's most definitely what you're privy to. Growing up on the South Side, and going to the high school that I went to, they didn't have the programs that they have in the suburb that I
Mm-hmm.
transferred. I moved to. Um, when I made that decision, I was like, "Whoa, badminton! That's something. What is that?" You know. I was like, "Well, this is
Cricket?
fun."
What is cricket?
Like, what? I didn't know. It's like, look,
Right.
lacrosse. What, we can have lacrosse? Huh?
It's like you can have a playground that's not
Nope.
rusty. No, wait a minute.
Right. Right. It changed my whole view on
Mm-hmm.
life. It
Mm-hmm.
really did. And then what I did, I didn't turn my back on my city folks. I went back and told them, hey, this is available, and you could do this, and this is what I learned, and this, when I went back on weekends, and this is and this, I shared all the information and the knowledge, and was like, wow, there's other things out there, you guys. So we
Oh
have
my
to share the
goodness.
information.
You were like, Dorothy, come on, come with me. Let's go on down this yellow brick road. We are going to get there. That's amazing. And I know
Yeah.
that being from the Midwest, philanthropy is a huge part of our lives, period. Whether it's in church or working with an organization or your universities or anything, we have a spirit of giving back. And before we get into talking about your foundation, I want to talk a little bit more about your acting career. Um, your career is an ebb and flow type of career. And I know that you get as many no's as you do yeses. How do you deal with those challenges, and those disappointments that might come from a no?
Well, dealing with disappointment is easy if you have a spiritual background that's solid. So, or you have a meditation background. So I have all of that. So when I'm reflecting, I'm reflecting on manifesting more opportunities and open doors. And so if I receive a no, I know something better is on the way, because my spirit is calm and my confidence is high, and I'm rooted in such a like I want to say I'm zen. I have a zened out. So I don't get too frustrated. I may get disappointed, but it doesn't linger, because I know how to relinquish that thought. Like, they didn't want me. I'm like, oh, I'm wanted here. That must mean another opportunity is on its way. So when somebody talks to you negative, and this may come from all the books I read. I was taught and trained through reading books and stuff that you have to counter that negative thought. So, and you can say it out loud, or you can think it, oh, they said no, but must mean something great's going to happen, or I know something better is going to happen. And it does. It does. So it keeps your spirit calm, and it keeps your expectations high. And I think as an individual, we always have to keep our expectations high, because, you don't want to be down and out when that yes comes. You want to keep your spirit just perfect and right. So when it comes, you're like, yeah, okay, I expected it. Okay, greatness, success. Because what you think, therefore I am, So your mantras, your affirmations, your prayers, all that stuff to keep you centered is important. Because, I've had friends in the industry that weren't conscious of their thoughts, their positive thoughts, and they thought only about the negative stuff, and it drained them. And my thing is, I always tell people when they come with me with their problems, I say, okay, what's the solutions? And then also we have to be careful on how we treat ourselves and our nervous system. So if we keep saying negative stuff, and this person, how's your body feeling? Don't you want your body to feel uplifted? So you kind of have to empower yourself, and that comes from self-awareness. Like, I'm not feeling this great. This happened. This person said this. Okay. Well, let me ponder on something that's optimistic or positive so I can change how I feel about life. And that's important.
Now, where did you learn your self-awareness from, or how to get to that point of self-awareness?
I am a bookworm. So that's how I learned about self-awareness. I am a nerd. Last year, I read 11 books. So I read a lot of self-help books.
What are your favorites?
I posted on Instagram. So 4 Agreements. I say start off with the 4 Agreements. Because then here's something to piggyback on what you said. You don't take anything personal. That's first and foremost. Do not take anything personal. So that right there.
I just read, I don't know if it was his son's book or his brother's book, but The Way of the Shaman. That was a great book. Where they talk about their roots and their ancestors and things that they have learned through their culture. And I was like, this is deep. I love this, but I love the 4 Agreements. What else?
Yeah. So I read The Alchemist, Get Out of Your Own Way. I have You Owe You. I think that one right now. I want to say that one. God Is My CEO. I got a lot.
So you talk about your spiritual life. What is in your spiritual toolkit? Because I know there has to be times when you're like, this ain't it. So when you open up that toolkit, what do we see?
One other book too. How to Win Friends and Influence People. So anybody listening out there, get that one too. But in my spiritual toolkit, my secrets.
You don't have to share them all, but
I know, right? Everything that I do. What's your daily routine? So my daily routine spiritually. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna divulge a whole bunch of stuff to you. Some people are gonna get it. Some people aren't gonna get it.
Listen, I tell people I am woo-ish, so I know what you're talking about.
Okay, so I believe in healing music, listening to healing music, different hurts. I believe in sound baths and tuning forks so your vibration stays high. Everybody's gonna be like, "What?" That's what I'm telling you. I seriously stay zen out.
Well, so I think. Well, let me just explain it a little bit. Let me explain it a little bit. Because we are energy, and we hear people say that we are spiritual beings inside of our bodies, but we are energy, and that's just fact. If you look in the science world, they talk about it. If you look in the if you listen to what's his name, Dr. Tyson, he talks about it, how we are energy, and we can have, if you do yoga, about the chakra system, which is energy.
Yes.
So you can have a high vibration or a low vibration, and you want your vibration high so that your life matches your vibration. So that's where she's coming from.
Yes.
I'm just telling you. I'm just telling
yep, you're telling me. Yep, that's exactly. Yep. Love you. Exactly. You have to be aware of your vibration level. So everybody's a frequency. So it's the frequencies that are going to be. You're like, whoa. But yeah, I work on my frequencies like that. So when I talk about the tuning fork and the different sound baths and the Hertz music that I listen to. That's covering all of that. So yes, everybody is a vibration, and I work on being high vibration. Also, it's not just auditory. It's your words, what you
Mm-hmm.
speak, what you think, what you listen to, what you touch, what you taste. I work on all my senses too, and making sure they're uplifted and they're good. So all your four things can be good, especially exercising, socialization, endorphins and serotonin levels and oxytocin and all of that. I focus on all that stuff so I can just,
Well, I'll tell you what, it's working because your career has manifested some amazing opportunities. You have worked with Queen Latifah, Lawrence Fishburne, Matthew Cherry, and Angela Bassett.
Yeah.
So let me tell you this. Whatever you're doing in the toolkit, it's working because your life is a reflection of what you're doing on the inside. And like I tell people, your life is just a projection of what you are on the inside. So, working with those people, what are some of the great experiences or knowledge that you have taken away and added to your toolkit of acting?
Um, so working with the greats that you mentioned, I think most important what I've witnessed, and was I'm so honored to have worked with phenomenal people like that, and Chadwick Boseman, because I worked with him and his greatness, and Russell Hornsby.
Listen.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother conversation. I think Chadwick is magical, like Prince, and I would think just sitting next to him, you would just feel better.
I used to sit under him. Put my cast chair up next to him, and I said, "It's something about him. It's something about him." So literally, he used to journal a lot, which is important too. He used to write out all this stuff, and so it's just the seriousness of it. They take everything serious, and I think it's so important. So they're always thinking mode. How can I improve? Which I think is important for people. Always thinking how to better yourself. So that's the optimal. But working next to him, whew, we in our 20s. We could play around. There were people playing around, partying, doing all kind of stuff, or whatever. But he wasn't. He was just serious. And he always said, "Erica, get ready, stay ready, stay ready. You ready? You're ready, stay ready." And I'm like, every day. So I was just like, wow. And so he was writing short films and was directing at the time. And I auditioned for him. And so I was just like, how can I improve? What can I do? And so, I wanted notes from him because people like that, you want their secrets.
Right.
I remember certain people whisper in my ear, like do this and do that, and it works, technique. So that's why I always say be around people who are great at their what they do, and you'll learn. Never stop learning.
I remember Ryan Coogler saying that Chadwick was writing the character Black Panther way before, like in the first Marvel movie that he was in. He was developing the idea. And I was like, wow, you talk about manifesting something, but not just like woohoo magic, but literally writing it down and working it out so that when it was time, he was ready. And I think that's what you're talking about. When it's time, be ready.
Be ready. Be ready. Yeah. Envision. Envision before you see the vision.
Before you see it in front of you, it comes from you. Now you are deep into philanthropy. You talked about at-risk children. What inspired you to start your own foundation as opposed to just partnering up with another organization?
The Eric Hubbard Foundation was formed because when I was working on Lincoln Heights, we would get phone calls every weekend. They wanted the cast to go down and talk to kids all across the world. We would get phone calls. They just want to meet you. They want to meet you and say some uplifting words and encourage them. So I was hopping on planes, after work and going to different states and encouraging youth from in schools and community centers and just all kind of even pairing up with nonprofits in different territories. And I said, you know what? I like this so much. I should just do it myself.
Mm-hmm.
And back then I was just like, let me form my own nonprofit and continue the work, because kids, they love it when you mentor them and they have questions. They do have questions. And then, you help them. And I think, we uplift each other more in this society. Uh, People would get along better, and people would excel better. So depending on who's in your ear, you can excel. And that's what I do. My mentoring program is geared toward at risk people who come from communities that are underserved. They suffer from poverty, which is, correlates to low self-esteem
Mm-hmm.
and low confidence. And you have to be a confident individual to excel out here in this world. So I give them techniques on how to excel, different activities they can say or they can do to keep their
Mm-hmm.
spirits lifted. It's like a plant. You got to keep watering the plant, and some people talk to their plants and the plants grow. And I think, if we had more community centers out here, a lot of the youth would have more help, because they need encouraging words too to get through life. And it's important because that's our future generation.
And exposure
And
to other things. Field
yes.
trips.
Yes, field trips. Exactly. And money as well, because
Yes,
I go in and I give
resources.
scholarships away too. Some of the kids don't have money to pursue education. They need book money to go to college. And some of them are like, oh, I fell short with this, or they need just extra money to like gas money if they're taking a car to college or something like that. So I'm like, okay, let me start giving scholarships away. And it's important. Give back to your community. It's important. Volunteering, you know.
Who are some of the people that have given back to you?
Oh, good question. Look at you. You most definitely are helping me out, like giving me an opportunity to speak on your platform and to encourage people. So, I mean, Black Woman Amplified, I'm happy that you reached out and gave me the opportunity to talk about my life and to hopefully encourage the listeners, on
I
being
just
being
believe
hopeful.
one of the most powerful tools anybody has is to hear somebody else's story, because
Yes.
we see highlight reels and we don't see the real because we've all gone through stuff. We've all gone through hardships and challenges one way or
Yes.
another. And it might look worse, but to that person, it's hard. And we all need, like you said, mentors helped you build up your toolkit so that you can handle what's coming, to deal with disappointment in a positive way. And
Yes.
it's like, okay, well, if this wasn't for me, then something else is for me, because I believe in all things are possible. So
Yes.
it's gonna come, and it might not be now, it might be later, but either way, I'm gonna be okay. So you
Mhm.
created your own safety net. And I think it's important for people to hear that, whether you're a child or an adult, because there's
Yes.
some grown folks that need some words of
Then
encouragement.
we get into emotional intelligence.
Yes.
That's a whole other topic. Wait a minute.
How about just grow up? How about we start there? Listen, how about we start there?
Maturity. Yeah. There
Maturity
are
would
some
help a
kids that are
lot.
mature. Huh?
There's some old kids.
Yes. Yes.
There's some
There's
old.
kids that I've seen and I've witnessed more mature than adults. I'm like, whoa.
It's cool to have. We all have fun, but let's grow up a little bit and really understand our place in this world. That we are here to help one another. So you have
Yes.
worked on some incredible projects, but a little bug has told me that you're in at Yale.
Oh,
Am I-
wow.
I'm,
Yeah.
I'm nosy.
Wow. Look at
I do my
you.
research.
Okay. Uh-huh. Okay.
Hi,
I thought
academic
wow.
lady.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I take the science of wellness of science course. Science the science of wellness course. And yeah. I'm
Why are
trying
you
to
laughing?
because nobody ever like I'm shocked that you found that out, but I'm trying to make sure my well-being is performing it is the highest level that it could possibly perform while
Mhm.
I'm on this planet Earth, as long as I am. So they did should I tell her? Okay. They did a report at that university, and they're saying, okay, so everybody has a high IQ, they're knowledgeable, and they go out there and they work in their workforce and they make great money. But how do they get along with people? How do you feel about yourself? How you feel about yourself and how you feel about others is important. So that class right there is like, if you take this class, on focusing on your well-being and other people's well-being, then you'll have a higher success rate in the workforce. So okay, there's a secret there. So take a course on that, and I found that out by just doing my research. My major at Columbia College was journalism, and my minor was theater. So I just researched a lot, and I found that out. Like, oh, this is how they're thriving in the marketplace.
It's really interesting because you can listen to people talk about, oh, you just work hard. I'm like, no, y'all got some secrets.
Yeah. No.
And when you listen to those old books from like the early 1900s and the late 1800s, the knowledge that they're putting out there, like what this class is doing, you're like, okay, it is about mindset, but not how we think.
Yes.
There's a science to everything that you're saying. There's a science to it. There's a way to change your brain and a way to, all the things. So all the things.
Yes.
Well, that's amazing. Are you going to continue at Yale, or are you just taking a class?
I'm just getting this certification so I can just, be great in what I do, So I just had to find out, what are the Ivy League people doing different than, everybody else. So I was like, let me take this course.
Well, that's amazing.
And it's hard. Don't get me wrong. It's
I'm
hard.
Sure it is.
I'm set in certain ways, and you think I'm living right, but no. And they make me take all these tests and quizzes and read all these articles and YouTube videos and listen to podcasts. But I know how to deal with myself better, and I know how to deal with others better. So it's great.
That's a beautiful
betterment.
And it also will help you as you create your characters, give them a bit more depth and more layers, because nobody wants to see a flat character, a one-dimensional person on the screen.
Yeah.
So moving forward in your career, what type of roles do you want to take on now?
Well, I started directing. I have a movie that's on the film festival circuit called Policies and Procedures that I wrote, directed, produced, and starred in. And it's based on a true story. So I want to do more stories that are true stories. That's what I want to do, because there's a lot of stories out there that are based on true stories that need to be told. That's what I want to do.
Well, you are more than welcome to tell my life story. I've been trying to tell people. Okay. Like, you want to tell a story of resilience? I got one for you.
Nice. Yes. Yes.
So you did all. How do you do all of that at the same time, Michael B. Jordan? How do you do all of that at the same time?
A lot of coffee. A lot of coffee. Yeah, lots. Mind over matter.
Okay.
Matter. But wow. I know, because I wrote a screenplay. I found myself, I don't know, what is it? Maybe it's just, I don't know, my energy. I think because I'm so like zenned out, I don't let stress really get to me. And I know if I do feel it, I know how to get rid of it quickly with different exercises and stuff. Like you said, yoga, So it's important that, you have that outlet, that outlet to relax, and vacation. Let me put that in there, in the vacation, because you could relax at home and, zone out, but vacation. And they just did a study too on how if you look at the water and listen to the sounds, the wave sounds, it relinquishes your stress. So it's important to vacation. People say, I'm gonna work, but no, vacation is important too. It's not that fun right there, helps you relieve that stress. So it's important to have a balance. So I just have a balance. I think that's what helps me.
Did you ever see read the book? I can't remember what movie it was in. It's a metaphysical movie called What the Bleep. And they talked about water molecules, about how the water molecule changes I'll send the link to your publicist, but how the water molecule changes depending on the word. And it's a Japanese doctor who studied it.
Nice.
And he
No.
literally, it
Yeah.
shows that when you speak bad to, because we're 70% water.
Uh-huh.
So it shows that when you speak love, it looks like snowflakes. But if you speak negative things about yourself, the water literally looks like an atomic bomb hit it. And that's how
Wow.
serious the words that we use are.
Mhm.
So anyway, I'll send the link to your people.
Yeah. Yeah. And then also your pressure point.
Yes.
Touching certain pressure points helps relieve stress too. So, and some people, some people go into tap therapy. It's a lot of different techniques
Oh
out there.
yes. Look, I know all the things. The tap therapy is amazing. All of
Qigong. Yeah.
all all the indigenous work that people just this think is woo 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 woo, but it's
Yeah.
really, especially with us being of African descent, we have to do methods and tools that are outside of traditional therapy, because I tell people all the time, they didn't study us when they developed therapy. So for some people it takes us so far, but the rest of the way we got to go back to what the ancestors did.
Yes. 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 You know what? And it's stuff that people don't know. And I tell them like certain things to take, and they're like, huh, where'd you find that out? Just research. Like even with colds and sinuses and how to unstop your nose. I took a neti pot to someone. They're like, what is this? This is weird. I gotta put this neti pot on my nose and boil this water. But I'm like, it helps. And they did it for a few days. They're like, whoa, wow. I'm just like, there's things out there to help cure everything. It really is to help you. So, and to be optimistic, like you said, just keep being optimistic, because that right there speaks volumes, being optimistic.
Definitely. Now, before we get out of here, I want to hear a little bit about your books, because you are now also an author.
Yes. And I have two children books that I wrote, and I'm just happy to write those children books. I'm a mom, and I just was sitting like, wait a minute. I don't want my kids to get bored. You know how kids always say, I'm bored. I'm like, no, there's different activities. So in both books, it's filled with tons of activities that you can do to, keep your mind busy, to be physical. And so, to have fun. And so you won't get bored. And my kids love the book. I'm getting ready to go to Juneteenth festival and sign the books and read the books and stuff. So I'm just happy that when kids look at it, they're like, oh wow, I didn't know we could do this, and I don't know that. Oh, this is fun. So I said this book's gonna work. If my kids are reading this book and they're smiling reading this book, I'm happy to share with other kids. So that's what I wrote the book, and happy that people love it when they read it.
I love that, because I know when we were a kid, we didn't have Black people books or books with
Yeah.
Black images. We had Winnie the Pooh and Dr. Seuss.
Yeah. 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 See, that's important. That's important because diversity inclusion is so important. And like you going back earlier in the conversation, how you see yourself, because I know one of the key factors on me shooting and filming My Perfect Wedding, that's on BET Plus and Prime Video, was, oh, this girl's gonna get married. We're gonna see her get married or try to get married. How does that look? How does that, because we don't talk about a lot about that. I look at all these podcasts and they're talking about divorce and, oh, how does this relationship work, or this can't work. And I was like, oh, when I get this movie and then people see it, they had nothing but great things to say about that movie, because it's showing true love and how to find love and stay in love. And it talks about matrimony.
And I love that, because we don't see that. And it does, like you said before, it impacts how we live our lives. If we don't think love is possible, it's like I tell my girlfriends all the time, I'm not a member of the Men Haters Club, because I was raised with a lot of good men around me. Nobody's perfect, but there are some great men out there. And there are some great loves out there. Not everybody got a divorce.
Yeah.
There are still people who are married 60 years later, 70 years later. I mean, when you see movies like The Notebook, you're like,
yes,
there is eternal love.
Yes. Yes.
So that is a beautiful thing. So the movie is called What is the movie you just
My
said?
Perfect Wedding.
My
My
Perfect
Perfect
Way. It's on BET now.
BT Plus and
Please.
also Prime Video for anybody who's got all the people on
That's
their
me.
phones.
I know. I loved all these streaming services, and it has to be great being an actor that you can have movies last longer than the run at the theater.
Oh my gosh, I'm so elated. You have no idea how elated I am. Oh my gosh, the streaming services, one of the
Yes.
best things that's ever happened to me. My residual checks and people looking at them on their laptops, their Kindles, their phones. I'm like, their iPads, like, and it lasts forever and ever and ever. Like people are still talking about A Cinderella Story. And I shot that way back when in Lincoln Heights and Aquila and the Bee. I'm like Sister Charles Dance. I love it. I love it. So I mean, I'm hopefully I'm inspiring people to never give up and keep going, continue success, and operate in love.
That is beautiful. Thank you. So my final question that I ask everybody, what is your Black girl magic superpower?
My Black girl magic superpower would be definitely what I just said, to operate in love. And I think that's one of the reasons why I do a lot of rom-coms, because I believe in love and I like displaying it in the entertainment industry. So operate in love, be of love, be of light, and be kind to each other. Because you know what? I read a study. Here I go with my research again. But if you smile more often, you live longer. So I'm trying to smile my way through life.
And you don't get those ugly frown lines.
Right. Smile more often. It makes you feel great. People
makes
like, why
you feel great, and it makes other people feel great when they see it.
Oh, thank you. That's the goal in mind. That's the goal. It's just to, smile. Let people see your pearly whites or your yellows, whatever you have, whatever. Let them see them. Because it's contagious. Good feelings are contagious. I don't know if everybody knows, but it's contagious. So
Positivity
be of good
passes
cheer.
along from the next person to next person, and we can change. That's why I love the whole philosophy of pay it forward. Like just give somebody a dose of positivity. It doesn't take, you don't have to change the world. You can just give somebody a cup of coffee.
Yes.
Can change their whole day. So I love your outlook on life, and I really appreciate you being with us. This has been a wonderful conversation. I love to get inside of people's stories to know how they think.
Thank you. I'm so happy to talk with you and to share my experience on life, and hopefully I've uplifted somebody through this conversation. And feel free, anybody, to follow me on social media and look at one of my pictures smiling, and I can look at your picture smiling. Keep smiling, everyone.
So what are your social media digits?
Sure. My social media is one Erica Hubbard. It's on Instagram. On Facebook, it's just Erica Hubbard. On Twitter, it's just Erica Hubbard. So yeah, I'll see everybody out there in social media world smiling. Everybody, let's smile, especially with this good weather. We about to hit summer.
Oh, listen. And all I can think about Chicago is the Chosen Few picnic.
Oh, yes.
Yes. The takeover, because I love house music. So the takeover of house music, you can go anywhere and hear it. I tell people house music is all over the world.
Yes.
And it started right in Chicago. So
yes.
it
Good
belongs
vibrations
to us. Yes. High vibrations, great vibrations. So Erica, thank you so much for this conversation. Thank you for your time. I really, really appreciate it. And you have an open door here every time you want to come back and talk about your new movie, your enlightenment, all the things.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Have an amazing day.
All right, you too. Thanks again.
You're welcome.